Hello everyone. Couple of days back, I was trying to analyze few data sets which were huge in size, and I was not able to do that with my personal laptop because of the compute and memory constraints. So to resolve that issue, I thought of resorting to EC2 instance and install required applications there. The process was having multiple steps, so I thought of creating this video to demonstrate that so that if you are also in a similar situation, you can follow this. So here I'm on the EC2 console home page. I'm in Singapore region, so whatever region is closer to your location, you can select that, and then we'll go for a launch. I'll provide some name to my server and select Ubuntu. I'm keeping the basic AMI, the default AMI which is available, and the instance type, but you can select as per your requirement. For key pair, I already have one, so I'm selecting that. But if you don't have anything with you already, you can create a new key pair. For security group, I'm selecting one very open group just for the demonstration. But you should choose your groups properly. You should have the proper security group details based on the security you require. And I'm keeping the configuration storage default. So with this, I'm launching the instance. Okay, so the instance is being launched. Let me copy the public DNS, which we will require to log on to from our terminal. So I'm in my terminal, and this is my .pem key. So let me connect to the Ubuntu server. The status is still pending, so let's try after some time. Yes. Okay, so we have logged in successfully, and let's start the installation work. So let me execute a command to make it up to date. So sudo apt-get update. It will take some time, so let me pause the video. But yeah, it is done. So now it is installed. So let's check the Python version we have. So Python 3 version. So we have 3.10. Let me check the pip3 version. So we don't have one. So let's install it. Sudo apt install Python 3-pip. Yes. Click OK. So it is done. Let's check the version now. Okay, we have 22.0.2 version available. Now that we have pip, let's install the Jupyter. So pip3 install Jupyter. So once this is installed, we will go for the installation of Java and Scala because those are required for installation of Spark. So we'll first start with Java. We'll just check whether if we have a Java already. So we'll say Java -version. So we don't have Java, so we have to install it. Let me clear the screen, and we'll put command sudo apt-get install default-jre. So it will take some time. I'll pause my video and resume once the installation is done. So here are we at the end of the installation. To get this window, just press enter and it is done. So let's check the Java version now. So this is installed. Now also get Scala installed. So we'll say sudo apt-get install Scala. Yes. And press enter. Let's quickly check the Scala version. So we have 2.11.12. Now let's install py4j library using pip3. Okay, so this is installed. Now the next step is the installation of Spark, and for that I have went to this URL archive.apache.org, dist Spark, and then the version. So this one is the latest for now, but whatever latest version you have, you can go to this Spark and have it installed. So we'll just copy this Spark, go back to our terminal, and we'll say wget http:// the path, and over here we have to use, so I'm selecting this one, 3. Hadoop 2.7 TBC. So we'll just write it down, spark -3.2.2 -bin -hadoop 2.7.2gz. So it has started the installation. I'll pause my video. I'll resume it once the installation is done. Okay, so installation is done. Let's see what file has been downloaded. So this is the downloaded file, but it is zipped. So let's unzip the file. Sudo -zxvf and the file name. Okay, so it has unzipped the file, and now we have the file, the zip file, and the directory. So let's copy this path, because let's remember this path because we will need this path later on. So you can copy this path and have it handy, because we'll have to provide this path when we are initializing our Spark from the Jupyter Notebook, right? So have it handy. Now let's go back to our home directory and install the findspark module. So pip3 install findspark, and now install, and now we'll open the Jupyter Notebook. We'll generate the configuration of the Jupyter Notebook. So Jupyter Notebook --generate -config. So if you get this error, sometimes we receive this error, sometimes we don't. So, but if you get this error, what you have to do, you have to disconnect from this EC2 instance and then connect it back. So I'll just exit from here, clear it, and then log in again. So SSH ubuntu @ we have to select the public DNS and our key. Okay, so we are back in the EC2 instance, and let's execute the same command again. So Jupyter Notebook --generate -config. And now we can see the configuration file created. So this is the default configuration file, but we have to make few changes in it. I'll show you that in the next part. Okay, so now the configuration file a default file has been created. Let's download few certificates. For that, we will create a new directory with the name cert. We will go to that directory. And here we are going to create our certificate. For that, you have to write this command, sudo openssl req -x509 -nodes -days 365 -newkey RSA:2048. So I have tried it with 1024 and it was giving me an error. So I'm selecting a higher value here. So RSA:2048. Keyout. I'll give a name of my certificate as mycert.pem -out. Same name, mycert.pem. So it has created this file. Now it is asking few values. If you don't want to provide these, you can just press enter. And now we have the certificate file created. The certificate has some default permissions, so we have to change those permissions. Otherwise, we'll get issues when we are using the Jupyter Notebook. So to change the permission, execute these commands: sudo chown $user 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 and the path. So home, ubuntu, cert, and then mycert. We have to execute one more command. So sudo chmod -r e+rw and the same part. Okay, so now we have done that. So let's go to the home directory, clear it up, and we will open the the default configuration which was created earlier. We'll have to make some changes to it. So let's run this, and we can see there are some hidden folders available. So we have to go inside this folder. So cd, and if I say ls-la, we see that config file. So let's open this file in vi editor. And we have the basic things available here. So the get config is initialized to C. We'll add few details here. c.NotebookApp.certfile. So here we are providing the certificate file path, that is U code, and the path we have where the file is created. Home, ubuntu, cert, mycert.pem, then c.NotebookApp.ip address we have to give. So I'm providing all IP addresses, but you should be restrictive about this and provide only those which you need access for. Then c.NotebookApp.port. So I'm giving a port of 8888, and then c.NotebookApp.open browser. So I don't want to open the browser by default when we are opening the notebook. So once all of these entries are made, you have to save the file with escape:x, and the file is saved. Now we'll go back to our home page, and then here we will launch the notebook. So let me clear the screen. Okay, so now we are ready to launch the notebook. So I'm in my home directory. We'll just quickly check it. Yeah, this is my home directory. And let's launch the notebook. So I'll say Jupyter Notebook. And it has provided me two paths because I have said the open browser no, it has given me this path. So I have to take this path and put it in the browser, but I have to make one change there, which I'll show you now. You can select any one of these paths and then we'll make a change. And I have to select the DNS, public DNS which we have, and I have to replace it over here. So if you see, it says the connection is not private. If I click on advanced, even there it doesn't provide me the required. I mean, it doesn't take me to the console. So I'll copy this and I'll open it in a different browser. So I have Safari, but you can use Edge as well. And here I'm running it. So it is asking me, it is providing me the same details, the warning. And if I click show more, it says I understand the risk and visit the website. So I'll click visit the website. It will again give me the warning. And once I click visit website again, it will ask me to provide my admin password so that I authorize it, and then we will be able to log on. So I'll click the visit website and then we'll log on to the. So here I am in my notebook. So we have successfully installed the Spark, Java, Python, Scala, and now we have opened the Jupyter Notebook. So let's go and open a new notebook. Now here we have to provide the path where we have installed the Spark. So for that we will say import findspark first. And here we have to initialize it by giving a path where the Spark is installed. So for that we'll say find spark.init, and then we have to provide a path where we have that installed. So earlier I mentioned you to keep a note of that path. So we'll use that home ubuntu and spark -3.2.2 -bin -hadoop 2.7, right? So this is how we have initialized the Spark, and now we will use import pyspark. So it will go to this place and then import the pyspark library. So it has successfully imported the pyspark. Now to just see whether everything is fine, we will create one simple data set and we'll try to import it here in the form of data frame. To do so, we have to import the .sql package and then we have to initialize the Spark. So let's go to that. So I'll say from pyspark.sql import Spark session. And but before we go there, let's create some dummy file, a JSON file, where we'll provide some dummy values, and that file we will import here to see it is working fine, right? One more thing we can do, we can initialize the Spark. We can provide here Spark equal to. So I'll use this Spark session dot builder dot app name, and we'll provide some app name to it. My app dot get or create. So you see that it is giving me an error because it will take some time to initialize it. So we will let it be here. We will go back to our EC2 instance and create one dummy file, and then we'll come back and initialize it again. So let me go to my Ubuntu. So this one is, I have to create a new session because here I have opened the notebook. So let me go to shell and create a new tab, basic. Okay, so I have my key. So I'll create a new session, EC2 Ubuntu add. I'll take my DNS and my key. So I'm in my home directory. I'll just create one dummy file with test.json. And here I will provide some dummy values. So let's enter those values and say country, Singapore, new record, country, India, and I'll say capital, and Delhi. We'll create one more record. So country will say UK, capital, London, and we'll add one more column here, population. We'll say 70 million. We'll close this record and let me save the file. Okay, so the file is saved. Now let's go back to our notebook and see if we're still getting this error. So let me rerun this statement. And now the error has gone. So it has initialized it, and now let's read the file. So I'll say df equal to spark dot read. We are reading a JSON file, so JSON. And since my notebook and my file both are in the same directory, here I my notebook and my file, so I don't have to provide a path. So I'll just say test.json. So otherwise I will have to provide the qualified path for that, but now it is not required. Okay, and now if I say df.show, I can see the file. So this is how we have installed the required applications and initialized our Spark notebook. So if you want to work in multiple days, over the multiple days, you can save your work. So let's say I want to rename it to some name, and then I can come back to it later. So I just renamed it country. Let me check if it is reflected on my machine. So yes, I can see the file name is, it is the Jupyter Notebook is saved with the country name. I can just log out from here and come back later if I want. So I'll go back to my EC2 instance and I will shut down my notebook. So just Control C. If you'll ask me, yes. And I'm back to my EC2 instance. So if my work is done, I can just shut down the EC2 instance, or if I don't need it anymore, I can also terminate the instance. So here I have logged out of my EC2 instance, but it is still running. So I have those two options. I can either stop it if I want to come back later and work on it, or I can just terminate it if I know it is not required anymore. But please ensure that you have backed up everything, all the files, all the work you have done, because if you terminate it, you will not be having access to those files. The space will be reclaimed and it will be not available for you later on. So let me terminate my instance because it was just for the sake of demonstration. And now it is getting terminated. So that's all in today's video. If you learn something new, you find it useful, please like my video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.